Have you ever stopped to think about what might be hiding just, beneath the surface? Especially with someone new. Like, think about a first date. Seems normal, right? Coffee, maybe dinner. But what happens when that first meeting, that seemingly innocent start, just completely spirals? Turns into, well, a nightmare. Today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. We found some really unsettling stories online, real accounts from people. These are first dates that went horribly, terrifyingly wrong. And we're not talking awkward silences here. We're talking stuff that leaves scars, emotional, physical, sometimes even financial ruin.
That's absolutely right. And look, these stories, they are grim, no doubt about it. But our goal here isn't just the shock value. It's really about shedding light on the red flags of the betrayals. And most importantly, the lessons you can take away from these experiences. Understanding these patterns, seeing how someone can switch from charming to, frankly, dangerous. It's vital. It's about awareness, really, helping you stay safe.
Right. And these stories, they feel so real because they are real, first-hand accounts. You get this raw, unfiltered look into situations that, honestly, most of us hope we never encounter. Situations that started so simply, a swipe right, maybe, a quick message. Okay, let's get into them. Our first one takes us back a bit. Before Tinder was everywhere, think Plenty Offish days.
Right, a different online dating world then.
Totally. So there's this 24-year-old guy looking for love, connects with this girl, thinks she's cute, they chat for weeks. She invites him over for their first actual date. To her family home, she says, parents are away.
Okay, alarm bell number one, maybe. The private location.
Maybe, yeah. But he's excited, He goes, they hang out, have a good time, and he ends up staying the night. Everything seems fine, nice date, until morning. He wakes up early, feeling pretty good about it all, and then he hears it. Downstairs, the front door opens, slams shut. His heart just pounds. He's scrambling, thinking, oh no, parents are back early. Awkward. The noise wakes her up. She hears footsteps coming up the stairs, and she completely freaks out, whispering at him, hide, hide now. He barely gets his clothes on, dives under the bed, just instincts kicking in, holding his breath.
Pure panic mode.
Exactly. Then the bedroom door opens. He sees a man's feet walk in. First thought, okay, it's her dad. But then they start talking. The way the man talks to her, the tone, it's intimate. And then the kiss, not a dad kiss, a full-on kiss on the lips.
Yeah, wow, okay.
And it hits him. This isn't her dad. It's some kind of arrangement, a sugar daddy situation maybe. And the absolute worst part, this isn't even her parents' house. He's trapped in someone else's secret life.
That realization must have been chilling. The ground just falling out from under him.
Totally. And then it gets worse. The man says, casually, gonna take a shower. This is his chance. His only chance, he thinks. Scrambles out, whispers furiously at the girl, like, what have you done? He creeps out of the room, tiptoes across the landing, praying. Gets to the top of the stairs, just about there. And the bathroom door swings open.
No.
Yeah. The man, naked, fresh out of the shower, they lock eyes. The guy's shocked. Just says, who are you? Then looks at the open bedroom door, and you can see it click.
Oh, I can only imagine that moment.
Our narrator doesn't wait. He just bolts, flies down the stairs, hears the man behind him yelling, screaming, charging after him, fumbles with the front door for like a split second. The guy grabs his shirt, but adrenaline kicks in. He rips free, bursts outside onto the street, looks back. The naked man is still coming, chasing him down the driveway, pure rage on his face.
Unbelievable.
Luckily, the guy suddenly stops, maybe realizes how insane it looks, running down the street naked at dawn. Our guy never saw the girl again, obviously. Left wondering, how manipulative she really was. Did she trap anyone else? Were they as lucky?
Wow, okay, so the immediate takeaway here is just vulnerability. That story screams the private space trap. It's a fundamental rule, really. First dates, even early dates, public places, always. Somewhere you control the exit, somewhere there are other people. It also just shows how easily some people can, lie. Construct a whole fake reality and put someone else in serious danger for, what? Their own gain, some twisted game.
Chilling. It really makes you think. Okay, let's shift gears a bit from that kind of deception to something more relentless, obsessive. This next one is about a university student, first year. Meets a guy in the city center, seems charming, good looking.
The classic charming start.
Right. He's smooth, asks her out pretty quickly. First date starts off great. He's playing the gentleman, holding doors, pulling out her chair, good conversation.
Yeah.
But towards the end of the night, something shifts. He gets pushy. Really pushy about physical contact, like aggressively pushy. She has to straight up tell him, back off, I'm not that type of girl. Firmly.
Setting a clear boundary, which is exactly what you should do.
You'd think he'd respect that. He did not. Almost immediately after the date, the harassment starts. Texts, nonstop. Gets angry if she doesn't reply right away. Then one night, it just escalates. He calls her 12 times in a row.
12 times. That's intense. That's obsessive.
Yeah. And the message is, why aren't you answering when I need you? And then this one sends a shiver down your spine. Don't make me come find you.
Whoa. That's a threat, a clear threat.
Definitely. He even tells her he loves her. After knowing her for, a few hours? She tells him again, stop contacting me. But he's just not hearing it. Like he's in his own world.
And that's such a classic pattern, isn't it? In stalking behavior. It often starts with that aggressive online pursuit, a total refusal to accept no, and that really fast, intense emotional escalation, the love bombing after one date, that charming exterior. It can hide some really disturbing, controlling stuff. How someone reacts to rejection, to that no, tells you so much.
Absolutely. So she threatens to call the police. The harassment continues anyway. He finds her on Facebook, starts commenting on her photos, posting on her wall, sends these creepy emails, stuff like, sometimes I see you around and it kills me. Ugh.
Just relentless boundary crossing.
He blocks him everywhere, tries to cut him off completely. And for a little while, it seems like maybe it worked. Maybe he got the message. But then it gets physical, the stalking. She gets a part-time job at a cafe. One day, her coworkers are talking about this guy who's been sitting across the street for hours, just staring at the cafe.
Oh, no.
Her stomach just drops. She asks what he looks like. Yep, it's him. She looks out, sees him sitting there, eyes locked onto the cafe windows. They make eye contact, briefly, chillingly.
That escalation to physical presence is terrifying.
She tells her manager immediately. The manager tells her, call the police right now, while she goes out to confront him. And smartly, luckily, our narrator had saved everything. Screenshots of every single threatening text, every creepy message.
Crucial. Absolutely crucial.
The police used those screenshots. They contacted him, checked his state of mind, they said. And thankfully, the physical stalking stopped after that. But get this, about a year later, she's just chatting with another girl in a pub. They get onto bad date stories. And the other girl starts describing almost the exact same behavior from a guy she dated.
You're kidding. Same guy.
She asks, heart pounding, what's his name? Liam. The other girl's jaw just drops. Yep, same guy. Stalked them both. They actually formed a support network, helped each other deal with his lingering attempts to make contact.
That just underscores another critical point. Documentation is your shield. Seriously, keep records, screenshots, dates, times, everything. Don't hesitate to go to the police when it crosses that line into threats or physical stalking. And finding someone else who went through it, that validation, that shared experience, it's incredibly powerful. There's strength in knowing you're not alone in that.
So true. Okay, story number 3. This one takes us abroad. Cali, Colombia. We have a 29-year-old guy from the UK. Got tired of the corporate grind, quit his job to travel, lands in Cali. Meets a local student, Maria Eugenia. Beautiful, charming. They hit it off straight away.
Like a nice start to his travels.
Yeah, seemed like it. They have a great first date. Hours of chatting, exploring the nightlife. As the night's ending, Maria buys some beers from a street vendor. Bottles are already open.
Uh-oh. Open drinks.
Yeah. She hands him one. They start walking towards what she says is her hotel. And that's the last thing he remembers.
Okay.
Next thing, he wakes up. He's in his own hotel room, covered in vomit, head pounding like crazy, worst headache ever, phone's gone, wallet's gone. He panics, rushes to where she said her hotel was, asks for her. Nope. No one matching her description stayed there, ever.
The scam becomes clear.
It gets so much worse. He goes to an ATM to get cash, card declined, checks his balance online. The account that held his life savings, about 20,000 pounds he'd saved for this trip, is almost empty, just over £1 left.
20,000 pounds. Gone. Just like that.
Gone. He's stranded, broke, completely bewildered. How did this happen?
And the how is terrifying in itself. This sounds like scopolamine. Devil's breath. This drug comes from a plant mostly found in that region. It doesn't knock you out. It makes you compliant, like a zombie, basically. Awake, talking, but with no free will. Completely suggestible.
So she could just lead him around.
Exactly. Take him to ATMs, shops, get him to enter his PIN, authorize transactions, buy expensive things, all while he's under the influence, totally unaware. Later, he'd have no memory of it.
That's horrifying, losing control like that.
It's profoundly violating, and it drives home maybe the most critical travel safety rule. Never accept open drinks from anyone you don't implicitly trust, especially when traveling. Watch your drink being made if you can. The risk is just too high.
What happened with the police? The bank? Police couldn't do much. Hard to trace. No real evidence left behind. The bank initially pushed back too. Said he authorized the transactions by giving his PIN.
That's brutal. Adding insult to injury.
He eventually got some money back after threatening legal action, but honestly, he just considers himself lucky to be alive. Apparently, scopolamine overdoses are common. Fatal. He got off relatively lightly, even losing all that money. Still, a terrifying lesson.
A very grim reminder of hidden dangers, especially when you're in an unfamiliar place.
Definitely. Okay, let's bring it back closer to home, sort of. Online dating again. This woman, she describes herself as kind of awkward socially, doesn't go out much. Her friend convinces her, try out Cupid. She matches with a guy, seems okay, quirky, maybe a bit weird, but not like alarm bells weird. He suggests dinner and indie horror movies at his place for the first date.
Back to the private space issue for a first meeting.
Yeah, she acknowledges that, but she mentions she's tall, like 6'2", and he's shorter, 5'7".
Yeah.
She had this fleeting thought, like, okay, I could probably take him if needed. Plus, she noticed the promise of a home-cooked meal might have swayed her judgment a bit.
The allure of a free dinner. We've all been there. But still, risky.
They did have a safety plan, though. Shared his address with her friend, had a code word for an emergency pickup. Smart.
Good. Essential backup.
She gets there. First thing he does, starts talking about his bedroom, how big the bed is. She tries to laugh it off. Awkward jokes, maybe. Then he takes her to the kitchen for the promised dinner. No food. Nothing. Just a really expensive bottle of red wine he makes a big deal about, expects her to be super grateful for.
Okay, red flag 2. No dinner, just booze.
And he pushes it hard, keeps topping up her glass, even when she's trying to slow down, clearly trying to get her drunk. She starts feeling really uncomfortable.
Right. Forced intoxication attempt. That's a major warning sign. Control tactic.
Definitely. She finds some chips and toast herself just to have something to eat. Tries to salvage the date somehow, but then he puts on the movie. His choice. A Serbian film.
Oh no, not that film.
For anyone who doesn't know, it's infamous, extremely graphic, violent, and includes deeply disturbing scenes involving child abuse. It's notorious for a reason.
It's designed to shock and disturb. Not exactly first date material, or any date material, frankly.
She politely tries to get out of watching it, lies, says she's already seen it, wasn't a fan, asks if they can watch something else. He refuses. Insists, and then gets condescending, like, oh, you just don't understand. It basically dismisses her completely, makes her feel stupid for not wanting to watch it.
Wow. Okay, let's unpack the flags here because they're piling up fast. You've got the isolation, immediate private residence, the forced intoxication attempt, the complete disregard for her comfort and boundaries with that film choice, and this weird insistence, this pressure around incredibly disturbing media. It all points to a really problematic mindset. It often preceded escalation.
And escalate it did. She knows right then, okay, no second date, absolutely not. Texts her friend the code word, emergency pickup needed. The movie plays, it gets to one of the worst scenes, the one involving the child, and the guy next to her starts breathing heavily.
Oh, come.
Comes closer, reaches out, tries to touch her thigh. Right then. Prompted by the scene.
That's it, line crossed. Predatory behavior linking to the violent media.
That's her breaking point. She jumps up, grabs her purse, says firmly, I'm sorry, I have to go.
Okay.
Starts walking down the dark apartment hallway towards the exit. And she hears it from behind her, from inside his apartment. This horrible screech, you're not leaving.
Chilling. Absolutely chilling.
She doesn't look back, just runs, bolts out of the building, down the stairs, meets her friend. Shaken but safe. First thing she did, blocked his number. Then she reported it to the police. Not expecting an arrest, maybe, but wanting it on record, just in case he did something to someone else later.
Very smart move. Creating that paper trail is important.
Yeah, and the whole thing just reinforced it for her. Public dates first, always, and always, always have that escape plan ready.
Crucial lessons. Absolutely crucial. That safety plan likely made all the difference in her getting out quickly.
Okay, one last story for this deep dive. This one starts differently. Starts actually pretty great. The narrator says it was a great first date, good conversation, connection. So good, she agrees to go back to his place. No plans to stay the night, just hang out a bit longer.
Okay, so the initial vibe was good. Seems promising.
Until she walks into his apartment and reality hits. Hard. The place is a disaster. Not just messy, but filthy. She said the kitchen smelled like death. Bathroom was disgusting. And she noticed this weird brown-red stain on his pillowcase. Just Unsettling.
Whoa. Okay, environmental clues. Sometimes the living space tells you a lot.
Yeah, she was immediately grossed out, almost left right then. But she hesitated, thought, okay, maybe he's just messy, maybe it's something you can work on, gave him the benefit of the doubt. Briefly.
But that internal debate is common, trying to rationalize away the red flags.
Then came the real deal breaker, the thing that just shut it all down. He casually mentions he has a kid. Okay, not necessarily a deal breaker in itself. But then he adds, he has no interest in being a dad to this child. Says it like it's nothing, no remorse, no concern, just doesn't care.
Wow. That speaks volumes about character, responsibility, empathy.
Exactly. That was it for her. Perception completely shifted. She ended the date right there. Just said she was tired, needed to go, made it clear she wasn't interested anymore.
Setting the boundary based on a core value and compatibility makes sense.
His reaction, though, not disappointment, not sadness, pure rage. As she's backing her car out of his parking spot, he runs at her car, and smashes his fist right into her windshield, cracks it.
Over being rejected after one date.
Smashes the windshield, then starts chasing her car. She speeds off, terrified.
That is an explosive, violent reaction, completely dangerous.
She pulls over a few blocks away, totally shaken, trembling, calls her mom, and just reflects, how little you really know someone after just a few hours until you see how they live. And more importantly, how they react when they don't get what they want, when they face rejection.
That story is powerful. It really teaches us about reading the unspoken. Those details, the apartment's condition, they aren't trivial. They can hint at deeper issues, chaos, a lack of care that might bleed into relationships. But the core lesson is that terrifyingly violent reaction to rejection. It highlights the danger of individuals with absolutely no emotional control, huge rage issues. It's a massive red flag for potential future abuse or violence. Again, it hammers home.
Okay, yeah.
Trust your gut. Even if the date seemed good initially, those later clues, that feeling of unease, the reaction to boundaries, listen to it.
Wow. Okay, so we've had some truly harrowing accounts today. Just sitting with these. What really jumps out to you, listener? What connections are you making?
When you put these stories together, even though they're unique nightmares, you see these disturbing common threads emerge, don't you? It's often about pushing intimacy way too fast, ignoring boundaries like they don't exist, trying to get someone alone in a private space really early on. Deception is huge too, lying about who they are, their intentions, the situation itself, and then that scary switch when they're rejected, obsession, anger, sometimes outright violence.
Yeah, exactly. And think about how often that gut feeling came up, or the importance of having a safety plan, like a code word or sharing your location. What does that tell us?
It tells us that our instincts are often right, even when we can't immediately explain why, and that preparation matters. In a world where meeting strangers is so easy, so common, how do you find that balance between being open to connection, which is human, and being necessarily cautious? These stories, they aren't meant to make you swear off dating forever. That's not the point. The point is awareness, arming yourself with knowledge, with strategies, simple things. Tell a friend where you're going, who you're meeting, share your location, have that code word ready, screenshot weird messages, and just always, always trust your instincts and prioritize your safety. If something feels off, it probably is. Leave.
Absolutely. So here's something to think about as we wrap up. How does hearing these true crime stories, these first date nightmares, maybe change how you think about meeting new people? How you approach trust, especially online? It's definitely food for thought. We really hope you'll reflect on these insights. Apply them. Because honestly, knowledge is power in these situations.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive today.
Until next time, stay curious, think critically, and please stay safe out there.